top sports where the takes don't miss. The prof with the stats, the champ with the fist. Swore to bring in fire, cowboy, tie, riding bold. Bulls calling bets, watch the stories unfold. And it's truly eyebrows running the show.
It's Hot Top Sports, baby. Let's get it, let's go. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of High Top Sports Champs Corner. Fantastic day of the week. We had our first, not a first official, but like our first official presser, right? Because Billy G had to get his feet wet, had to figure out what was going on. He probably found out he was getting the job as he was walking into the building that day. So he got established, had his 1 week under his belt. We get his first presser, and when I tell you it was refreshing, man, by golly, it was refreshing. I had an absolute blast talking about it, going over it. It was a great time. We haven't talked about it yet, but at least listening to him, and just it was very refreshing not hearing Coach talk. Like I don't think he had it in him. He was just telling us how he felt, had me fired up. He was talking about the Florida-Georgia game, driving over the bridge, seeing just the wave of fans. I'm getting goosebumps talking about. I'm getting goosebumps listening to you, Coach. Ready to run through a wall. I'm 15 minutes in. I go, he's gonna be our coach next year. It's gonna happen. I'm just letting you know. Right? Y'all already know what the drill is. We got a good one though, boys. We're gonna talk about that, and then we've got Dustin from All Kinds of Weather, not Neil. Okay, we're not gonna ruin your Monday. Coming on here, they do a great job with their power rankings. He's got a fantastic system that they use, and so we had our own little chart yesterday. Where we talked about coaches. He has his own power ranking of coaches, and look, that's where we're at. That's the world we're living in. So we're gonna talk about all things that today. Without further ado, though, Stephen Harris joins the show. My man, how you doing, big guy? Good to see you, fella.
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't complain. How are you, brother?
I am doing well. It's been a great week. Ready to get back to some football though. Ready to play some football.
Right?
The bye weeks have been fun. They've had their excitement for sure. They've had their excitement.
Oh my God.
But it's time to get back into the mix of things and rock and roll here. So I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
It's a good distraction for us too to get back to some football. You know, a lot of talk, the coaches being the firing, the bye week, all kind of stuff going on around college football. So it's good for us Gator fans just to get back to watching some games, see what these guys do, see some improvement on the field. So I'm definitely excited about it. It was good to have the talks. I know been following. I've been in every chat. Boy, you've been on the epic run. Just to shout out. Listen, y'all like, subscribe. Let's get to them 30,000 subscribers. But you've been on the epic run, man.
Appreciate it, man. The boys are dialed. We're trying to get there. Let me see where we're at. Let's see. We're at 27.4, I think, almost 27.5. Yeah, we're at 27.499. So 27.5. If we can get to 500 by the end of the month, that means we need 1,000 for November and December to hit it, which would be incredible. I mean, come on, Big Steve.
Hey, share it with a friend. If you got a friend, if you in this chat, man, and you come across this live, you have a friend, you like what's going on here at High Top, share it with somebody, tell them subscribe, man.
Especially Ole Miss fans. I want to see you guys come late December. I want you guys tuning in.
Yeah, and we love all you guys.
We do. I mean, genuinely. Like, I've got no hate.
We embrace you, man. We talk crap with the best of them.
Yeah, we try to look. I try to keep between the white lines, man, as much as I can. So we like to have fun. Jordan Elite, the charts were fire. How about the charts yesterday, though, Steve? Did your boy? Was I put on a clinic?
It was awesome, but I nailed it with the lane.
You did. As soon as I saw, I was like, this. He cheated. He was watching me.
No, I just knew when you said it's not gonna be what you think. I had to start thinking.
Yeah,
yeah. Obviously, it's gonna be obviously of what I really would want. So I just guessed.
I love it, Steve Beckerman. You guys are the man. A couple super chats real quick, and then we'll get into the show. Where is the Discord? It's a great question, Anthony. There should be. I'll drop it again. Maybe if Swolder, if you're watching, can you put it in the? I don't know if you have access, but you should to the membership page on YouTube. That's where it usually lives.
And if you're on your mobile phone, go to your desktop view in your web browser, and then you could do everything from there. If you're trying to join anything on here, you have to do it from the web desktop browser. If you have a laptop, it's easier for you. If you're on your mobile device, you have to go to Google Chrome or wherever you go to use the regular internet, go to YouTube, but do it under the desktop mode, and you guys can join right away.
Absolutely. And $5 from Rook. We're winning every game, I believe, again. And look, I think that's a great transition into Billy G's first presser, man. Like I said, I was fired up. There's a lot of great things. We're going to get into him talking about DJ Lagway and a little. I was reading some tea leaves with practice talks But
For sure.
I think this man, once again, just really kind of kept it short, nothing too, grand in the opening intro. He was only Billy-esque like, and I don't mean to say this negatively, or you can take it how you want, but you typically pick up some tendencies from your head coach. That's just kind of the name of the game. I haven't seen too much of Billy Nape inside of Billy G, right? Which I don't want to an extent. But there was something that I did like of his question of injuries. He's like, you'll get it on Wednesday, which I love that he kind of has that dialed in. There was something that was asked about.
He knew the time too. He
Sir?
knew the exact time. He knew the exact time that you would get
8:00. Yeah. Which was very nice. Like, that was okay. At least we know it's going to happen. Yeah. Usually, I like that. There was no BS, right? All straightforward.
Sure.
Talking about, did you, because everyone just wants to know, like, what are you doing? You got the keys to the castle. Did you go in and just like turn the thing on fire, have a pillow fight first night in? Like, what happened? Did you have a pizza party? Talk to me, coach. You know what I mean? Home Alone 2 type nonsense.
Right.
You got daddy's credit card. What happened, coach?
Right.
And he gave some love to Napier. Like, look, like this, he had a machine running. This thing was running on all 4 cylinders. So there wasn't much to change outside of the small practice tendencies. And maybe we got some guys that are a little bit more banged up, being 9 weeks, 10 weeks into the season, because we have 2 bye weeks, right? There's some things that we changed, maybe practice times, things like that, which I loved hearing. I love the fact that like there was a compliment to Napier, which we all kind of heard. Like that was always the big thing of like this thing is ran like a machine. We're gonna get into the offense here in just a moment and how he kind of alludes to who's calling plays and why someone's calling plays and practice, which is huge. But I just wanted to talk about kind of how he carried himself and how he hyped me up for a game. Nate ain't ever hyped me up for a game, like how he talked about their defense and how he's like, look, because there was questions of like, what's your thought process of ending out this year? It's like, we want to win. Like, we don't wake up to not be here. I'm obviously making it a little more, exciting, but that's kind of how I felt when I listened to it. It's like, we're here to win. Like, these boys got a lot to prove still.
Yeah, now he talked about the history of the game, which is great. But the bottom line is to win, and he understands that. As a former player of his, I was nervous for him at this presser, because I know him as a guy and a coach, and I know what he brings. But trying to be a head coach and trying to be PC and stuff, that's not him. So I'm glad that coaches told him to just be himself.
Yeah.
Because and of course he's gonna try and give you a little coach speak, but he doesn't have it in him. He's a guy that worked his way up, a guy that, like he said, was out there painting fields. So it's not like he's been groomed to just have head coach speak, but he's a great coach, and I think that's gonna translate well for him. And I just want these guys to go out there and show up. But I just always was nervous for him. It's like, all right, what are they gonna ask him? How's he gonna answer it? He hasn't been a head coach to take these type of answers. What are you gonna do? But he fielded them well. And it's a great compliment to him. And he said he's still in his own office. He's not going in there getting the big head and saying, yeah, this is my chance to be the head coach. Let me go sit in the biggest office in here and move all my stuff in for these last few weeks. It's like, no, dude, like all of us are gonna do this together and let the chips fall where they may. And I think that makes him more relatable. Because I would find it funny if his players having an issue or need to come speak to him, and he say, "Yeah, come up to my office," and then they walk into the head coach after all for the past few years walking down here to his office. And when they get in there, like, "Oh, coach, you smelling you behind, right? Like, oh, you got your feet up on the desk now, huh?"
Yeah,
type deal. So I respect him doing that whole bit and keeping it the same parking spot. I'm excited for him. I think it's going to go well for him. I think we'll get to see. I know we'll probably get to it, but we'll see the wrinkles that we were looking for. He's a wide receivers coach, and you can hear it in him. Yeah, that's what he's been doing. Of course, he'll transfer over after. I mean, if he ever aspires to continue to be a head coach and he get that job, then it'll be more of a manager position over everything. I don't know if he'll be the head coach and wide receivers coach, but he's still a wide receivers coach, man. He's still down for those guys. He's transitioning into it, but with the role he has amongst the team, he can't just abandon those guys and say, "Oh, I'm no longer you're the wide receivers coach. I'm just the assistant's going to be the wide receivers coach now, and I'm just overseeing everything." I think he's doing it the right way. And he's just the leader now, the voice that has the last voice at the end of practice.
Agreed.
And in the beginning. So I like it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm going to talk more about that kind of the transition, the end of the Napier era here in just a bit. But we've got a special guest here. We've got John Austin, and you spoke with John for the Sports Break radio show. We both of us were on his show in the past. I'm really pumped about previous weeks. So this gives you a little tidbit, all right? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. He said he's pumped.
No, that was me again. I'm being. I was back talking again. All right, hold on. I gotta do a improv 3-way here because I don't know what was going on there. I was hearing double Shelton. We don't want none of that. So let me get John in here real quick.
Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. Help us get to them 30,000 before. Hey, if we can, let's do it this month.
John, how we doing, man? Welcome to the show, man. Good to see you.
John.
Thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate y'all, both of y'all being on my show. It's been awesome. Been welcoming me into the High Top Sports family, man. It's just great to see y'all guys face to face.
No doubt, man. Really great being on your show. It's cool being on the radio for the first time. So I really appreciate you having me on, and I know Steve was pumped about it too. That was cool for both of us as well. So thank you for that.
It was great radio we made, and I'm looking forward to having both of you guys on whenever you want. Basically, open invitation.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, tell us, Sean, man. Obviously, a lot of moving pieces. I think the last time we spoke, Napier was still in the driver's seat. Since then, he's been let go, and now we've got obviously the coaching search happening. Billy G speaks today. What was your feeling and thoughts of Billy G talking to the team and kind of just the vibe that he portrayed to everybody?
I agree with you guys completely. Like, I think Billy G, he has that aura to him where I was almost. I don't want to say that I think he could be the head coach, but I'm saying, like, I'm seeing it in my delusional Florida fan brain. We go 8-4, make the playoff. Billy G's the new head coach. We don't even have to worry about Kiffin or Jed Fish or anybody. And that's like my most delusional take possible. But I do think he answered all the questions really well. And you can tell he's a player's coach. Like, I think he gets it a lot more than a lot of different players or a lot of different coaches have in the past.
No question. And again, that's why I kind of joked at the beginning of the show. I go, we're going to end up hiring this guy just the way that he's carried himself and with all the nonsense happening. That's how I kind of been joked around about. But Steve, I'm going to pass to you. I got little man losing it. Steve, chit chat for just a second. I'll be right back, guys. I apologize, John, but I got to handle it.
No, it's all right, my man. New little ones at the house. Things happen.
Oh yeah,
John, man, it's good to see you face to face, man. I appreciate you having me on your radio show. Tell us a little bit about your show, man, just to give you guys a shout out real quick before he gets back.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So we're on WSBB radio station here in New Smyrna Beach, the home of your former teammate Dallas Baker, the touchdown maker.
The touchdown maker. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And so we run the show. We run Monday through Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. And we talk about college football is our number one thing. We probably talk about college football 2 days a week. And my co-host, he's from Indiana. So he's a big Indiana fan and Notre Dame fan. So we talk about a little bit of everything. I'm obviously a Gator fan, and so we talk a lot about the Gators as well, although I've been trying not to because I'm not allowed to swear on my show, and it's really hard to talk about this Florida season without sweering. I've had a couple here. I am.
Unless I'm going to try Disney. I don't know if it carry over. We just have to make sure we edit it out. But it's live right now. You live. You on air.
Yeah, I'm going to try and keep it PG still, just because I do like my stuff to be able to be out there, and I don't want to make the radio station mad. But yeah, we talk a lot about that kind of stuff, and we're online. I mean, you can listen to us on the radio. It's 106.9 from New Smyrna Beach. But we had Steven on. He was a great guest.
Yeah.
We got to talk. I got to thank him personally. For those of you that didn't hear that, I got to thank him personally for all the good memories I had growing up watching that 2006 Gators team, running around shirtless in my neighborhood after y'all beat Arkansas in the SEC championship game. Man, it's been wild. What's your take on who's going to be the next coach? Like, who does Stephen Harris want as the next head coach?
I'm all aboard. I'm choo-choo. Choo-choo. Yeah, we choo-choo on right now. I feel like, I know a lot of people, former players and stuff, who are close to the program try to be reserved and asking for who they want to be the head coach, and just out of respect for the process and stuff. But I'm one of those guys that I stuck my neck out so far, repping the team, and and not saying that my fandom is any greater than any other ones, but I just think it's time for us to pull that trigger, man, and swing for the fences. The availability is there. There's interest there. So I think it'll be naive or dumb on my behalf not to just go ahead and state the obvious. So it's Lane for me. Obviously, there are a lot of other great coaches out there. I know we talk about who's proven, who's not proven. But there are a lot of great coaches out there, and if you match them with this program, you can maximize the output, and possibly win championships. But I'm all aboard, man. I'm on the Lane train, and it's funny because when I played, in a few years after I played, maybe up until like maybe the last 5 years, I didn't like Lane, man. I didn't like it. I was always like a bully annihilator type guy. Like, I'm the nicest guy you ever meet, but if you cross the line, I'll do it to you. And so Lane has almost been like a bully in the way he, this brashness and stuff, and being a Gator, it didn't rub me the right way, but I've grown to like him as a coach and understand that's his character. He believes in himself. He has the confidence in himself, and it's nothing personal. It's just him doing what everyone else doing, but he knows how to take care of business. And I can always respect the man that knows how to have fun as long as he's taking care of his business, and he comes off that way to me. So it's all aboard for me.
Gentlemen, I apologize. I imagine you guys didn't even know that was gone, but thank you for that.
No, but listen, it's Champ's Corner anyway, so I don't even know why you
should
here.
I go?
No.
Let the big man have it.
Steve's like, thank gosh, thank good. You can't see his eyes, but tears were coming.
Yeah, right.
They're getting ready to ride.
We only got the 2 questions. My man did a great job segueing, and it's been perfect. So,
awesome. I mean, listen, two professionals. I figured we'd be just fine. So thank you all for hanging in there. And I was like, of course, it's John Hops on here. I'm like, all right, man, I'm out. You guys got this. I'll see y'all later. I don't know. So I talked with you, John, before the show about going to Billy G's presser. And again, I always read tea leaves. That's what we do. And this is how I took this when talking about DJ and practice. Allie spoke about it on our show Sunday, about she felt that the practices weren't being ran hard enough, right, in the Napier era. And we heard about some of these times things turning up, right? Like during the bye weeks, the practice is getting better. Wingo came on and talked to our show about it. Like, yeah, we started just going a bit harder on things. I asked if they could maybe Cam or Dylan, hey, can we ask about how practices are going now? But somebody asked about just DJ Lagway, and Gonzalez spoke to he's gotten better, Napier or DJ week over week. Because the question was like, hey, how are you going to approach DJ with how he's played this year? And he has improved week over week. Like that was my thing. I was like, people are like, hey, do we go to Trammell? I was like, I don't feel like he's played that poorly at all to where that should even be a question right now. But something he said, he goes, we've got to be able to practice full speed with wide receivers and quarterbacks. I fully believe that the wide receivers and the quarterbacks get better. He said this 3 or 4 times when they practice at full speed, not just going through the motions. And then he said it again, but practicing at full speed. So I took that as again, like, that's him saying that, hey, we haven't been hitting the gas. Because, again, he's got to be careful of, like, hey, he's not going to say, hey, Napier sucked at this. But he probably were things that, hey, I don't agree with it, but I'm going to continue to do my part. But I've played on a championship team. I've played for championship coaches. And so I think that's where it's also so great. I don't know what you guys spoke about, but just what I do love about his ability to take over, because there were some talks about Jaluk. There were some talks about Ron Roberts. And I was a big Ron Roberts component. But we finally got a coach Napier obviously coached on championship teams too, but Gonzalez, you're going to a coach that also coached on a championship team where there's almost a different level of respect.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that Urban Meyer pedigree that Billy Gonzalez has it pulls weight, even though a lot of these kids weren't, cognizant of what was going on in 2006 and 2008. They saw the 2014 team that he led at Ohio State, so they know Billy G has that acumen that he can use with those players. And I do think that he seems a little bit more hands off than Billy Napier, which I think is a breath of fresh air, where he's like, I'm going to let my coordinators do their job, which I think we have all been pounding the table, just saying, just handle the big picture stuff and let the coordinators do their effing job, basically.
Yeah. He made a good point today. Someone asked him about covering the tight ends, right? So it asked him a defensive question. How are they going to cover the tight ends for the Georgia? That's been an issue for us. And he goes, I don't know. I'll get with Ron Roberts and I'll let you know. Like, straight up is just, that's not my role. And he kind of alluded to the same thing of like, hey, I'm the CEO here. I'm going to oversee everything and let these guys do their part. And then even spoke to, again, kind of on that same path. Again, I don't think he's taking shots at Napier, because you alluded to it already, which I want to get into some more, Steve, about him, the parking spot, which was a funny question. I loved it. But spoke to the play calling. Right? Because somebody was like, hey, did Napier call? Goes, yeah, he called the plays. And O'Hara, that's who was speaking to DJ in his helmet. He was the one calling the plays consistently. He said that. And O'Hara will be calling the plays from the presser, and I will let them manage that side of it, and I will be overseeing everything. And that's why people ask, hey, Sheldon, do you think things are going to be different come Saturday? Yeah. I mean, and look, maybe that's just the Disney Gator, the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to plug in that's fueling it. But it feels... because we all kind of knew what it was holding everything back. And it was just Napier being so, I would say just infatuated with wanting to call plays that the game day management, the 11 on a field, the weird timeouts, or not calling a timeout, or just, you just feel like he's not watching the same game. That should all be alleviated. Now, with that being said, Billy Gonzalez is probably going to make mistakes too. It's his first game ever coached. So I imagine we're going to have some happen there too, but hopefully he can have some greater moments that overcome those negatives. Stevie?
No, I'm going to let him answer, and then I'm
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Like, I think that Billy G will, the growing pains are bound to happen, but I mean, we're 3-4. It's sunk cost at this point. Like, I think it doesn't really matter from here on out. Like, if we win, if we lose, I don't really care. I want to see development with DJ, because I think a lot of the things that the people don't realize is him missing so much time in the offseason as a young quarterback. He needs those reps. And right now we're basically just playing 5 more games of spring ball. And if we win and, make some, beat Georgia somehow, and then, maybe we get some momentum. But right now it's all just, we're having fun. And I do think Billy G, I think he's the perfect guy to do that, because as we've seen in the past with who he can coach at wide receiver, he's so good at those minute details. So I think every single young player on this team will get better. And if we can keep a lot of that talent for whoever becomes the next head coach, whether that be Kiffin or Fish or whomever, then I think, they're going to be building not off of nothing. They'll have their work kind of cut out for them.
Yeah, I like what Billy G is doing as far as staying in his lane and not trying to overstep boundaries to impress anyone. He doesn't have an ego when it comes to his coaching thing. He's really about winning and about the players. So it just I'm just still, I guess, dumbfounded about DJ Lagway having a quarterback's coach, an offensive coordinator, and then Billy's the one in his ear all game. Like, why do you have a quarterback's coach? What is the point of having an offensive coordinator?
Why have all the staff?
They're not the one
Yeah.
talking to the quarterback. So for me, that's caused too much confusion when I come to the sideline. And then who's correcting me then? Is the quarterback coach correcting me, or is Billy correcting me? Is Billy correcting me on the play or the read? And then I have to talk to the quarterback coach to talk about my footwork or how the footwork might have missed the throw. Like, that's just too many lines to have to go through to me for the quarterback. And so I love the fact that Billy's not calling the plays. He's the head coach. We have an offensive coordinator, but O'Hara, his quarterback coach, is actually calling the plays. So when something breaks down, or when you come directly to the sideline, there's only one person you need to talk to. He's going to talk to you about your footwork, talk to you about the read, and talk to you about everything else in between. And then it's not like say a game ends, and then the quarterback coach telling you, well, yeah, that really shouldn't have been like that. Well, that shouldn't have been like the side talk that normally happens. That really wasn't your mistake.
The tension that was building is unimaginable,
like,
right?
It's It doesn't make sense to me. And I know some people are doing it across the country, but it still doesn't make sense to me. And not many. And if you're doing it, then you have to be super, super elite at doing it. That's not something you want to be mediocre at.
So imagine, so now that it feels like we have a clearer picture than ever before. Like we all felt that we knew, but we didn't know because people have titles and we're like, what do these titles mean? So here's how I'm thinking that it went down. It's just DJ and the Billy show. Russ may be up there just, I don't know, playing tic-tac-toe with the rest of the gang. I have no idea. He must be kind of telling Billy something like, hey, here's what I recommend, like Ask Madden type stuff. I'm assuming that's the one part of the connection I don't know. Because we do know that Napier is in DJ's head. So the only person talking to DJ is Napier, right? So you got Billy in your head. Then, like you said, you go to the sideline, and O'Hare's trying to talk to you about certain things, like, hey, let's try this, let's try that. And he probably like, Coach, I'm not even getting that. I'm getting play action and pistol formation. So what you're telling me is completely useless. And so then him and O'Hare, that's why you're just sitting on the sideline like this. Because
like looking crazy
because O'Hare's got nothing to say to him. But what am I going to tell you, bro? I don't know what the hell's going on out there. I'm in the dark. Yeah. We're going to go watch these things. And I'm like, yeah, we shouldn't be calling these. I agree. You suck at this, DJ. I've been working with you all week. You're ass at these plays. And the coach keeps calling them, bro. I'm sorry.
And that's not a shot at him. It's like, that's your strong suit right now. Why didn't we do something?
Yeah, I'm not taking a shot. Yeah, that's just what the coach would do. The guy that's calling the plays, you know the guy. Yeah. Yeah. So there was a massive disconnect there.
And coaching them. So are you the quarterback's coach too?
Who?
Napier.
I don't know, man. Who the hell knows? I just do this. Hearing this just makes it sound like just, man, I feel horrible for everyone involved. Like, I don't know if I'm concerned. I think I will be extremely irate if we go in there on Saturday and bust this thing. And maybe I'm over just thinking it. But here's the great thing about firing your coach midway of the season and having a bye week: the lies get to reset, and I'm right back here. I get 5 days to tell the most elite lies possible, and then on Saturday they either come true or they don't, and then I'm right back where I was 2 weeks ago. So what do I care? You know what I mean? If that busts wide open, you're gonna look around and be like, what?
Y'all let this happen?
You ruined my damn season for this? Like, we might. The pitchforks might come back out. They might try to fire Billy again. They might go, hey, we're not paying the man the buyout. Whatever he's got, that's cool. But this was criminal. Okay, that's how bad it could become if they go out there and just. We hadn't won in 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I swear, if we won one goddamn bubble screen on Saturday,
we will.
My mind.
No,
we will. But I swear, if it's like 3rd and 17, and we're like, "Yep, QB sneak," I'm gonna just disappear from my body. There'll just be a shaped hole in my couch of where I used to be.
Hey, they're 3rd and 17. They throw 5 wide and hit it down the field for a first down. I'm going nuts. I might get the Gator tatted on my tit. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing that could happen when on 3rd and 17 when we haven't seen on anything crazy. You told me a first down.
You don't
pass.
have a Gator tat yet?
I haven't seen a first down from 3rd and 17. No, I haven't.
Not all season.
Oh man,
not all season.
Yeah.
So it might be due. It might be due if we get a big play.
Yeah. I expect the mentality of a wide receiver coach to want to first get it in the guy's hands in space and let them guys go make plays. I mean, he's not the offensive quarterback. I'm sure his input is going to be heavily respected from that aspect. And it's you got one less guy who's offensive minded that's out there. So now we get to narrow it down to the guys that want to be explosive. You got a quarterback coach that want to throw the ball. Then you got an offensive coordinator that needs to put up points. And then you got Billy G. So I think those 3 guys remixing the offense should make for explosive day, at least an attempt.
It could be a Lil Wayne. Sorry for the wait, kind of type of remix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get that
hey,
Billy
sorry
G.
for the wait, August 29th. They don't know about that one, Steve. They don't know about that one. We got Justin with SportsPick Radio here with us, man. Let's talk about one last little thing here before we let you go. Then we're going to have Dustin from In All Kinds of Weather break down a fantastic power rankings chart. Again, they use a whole new system than we did, and I think it's fun just to kind of look at all this thing as a whole. But you spoke to it a little bit, Steve. You got ahead of I sent you the script before the show. You didn't read it apparently. No, I'm just kidding. I said today about this morning, with Cody. I go, kudos to everyone on the show because I never send a preview to the show. Even when Justin called me, like, hey, what are we talking about? I say, you know what? You're gonna have to just be ready, man. Whatever I throw at you, because
ready to rock and roll.
I don't even know yet. All right, is it 8:15? No, so I don't know what we're talking about yet. But I'll just be ready. All right, just be ready. But no, you've been fantastic, man. But wrapping up the Napier era, him not parking in a Napier spot and somebody asking about it was fantastic. But
yeah, crazy question.
You already kind of spoke to it, but I thought about it because there's always two sides to it. Like, do we like that? Do we not like that? You can answer how you feel, and I'll allude to it, and we can kind of ask the question. Again, not parking in the spot, not sitting in the seat, staying in the same office, and I was thinking, I was like, I respect it, but at the same time, do you take initiative of like, hey, I'm now the guy, like, let's operate like that? But then he said a line that I was like, no, he's because again, I felt that he was right, but I was trying to just see the other side, like genuinely challenge myself internally. Like, my initial thought was like, hell yeah, coach, hell yeah.
Like, what would be wrong if you did do it? Like,
correct. I was asking myself that. And then he goes, he said this. Let me make sure I said, if I read it right. I've been asked to oversee the program. My job here has been asked to oversee it and make sure that we work together to get this thing to the end. And I was like, I respect the hell out of that. As if like, I wasn't hired as the head coach. I was hired to step in and continue to man the ship. So I'm not necessarily the captain, right? Or the head coach. I'm maybe the captain, but I'm still Billy Gonzalez. At the end of the day, I'm a wide receiver coach first. I am not the head coach of because it doesn't say Napier, right? The parking spot doesn't say, it just says head coach of the football team. The office thing, I would never take Napier's office. Like, that thing is like, it's like stepping into someone's room. Like, that's weird.
Right. You don't have enough stuff going there right now mid-season.
And again, to see it at the table, I could see that because I don't know how the table is. Like, if you want to go sit center, everyone's looking at you. But it's like, look, like, and I think, again, he spoke to it. Napier put all the processes in place. That's all fine and dandy. I don't need to fix that. What we need to fix is the offense, and we can all do that from this side of the table. So after he alluded to it and spoke to it tomorrow, I was like, yeah, I don't see another option, and I don't know if you guys are gonna. I know you're what you think, Steve. So we'll let Justin go first. Do you like it, or would you like to maybe take a little more of like, hey, I want to be the leader here?
Yeah, I think he knows that how much the guys in the locker room loved Napier. And even though we can all hate I'm not a Napier fan. I do not like him at all. I don't think he was a good hire necessarily, even if he could have been in the long run. But I know that the players love him. There's a reason he's a good recruiter. There's a reason we have so much talent. So I think what Billy is doing right now, Gonzalez, is he's trying to maintain that roster for whoever comes next. I think he sees it as a stopgap. I don't even know if his ambition is to be a head coach like we've, kind of thought about out loud. So I think what he's doing is just kind of steadying the ship, like you said, but also I think he just really wants to keep these guys around. And I don't think he's going to come throw dirt on them because I do believe that DJ loves him. I do believe that guys like VB3 love him and they loved Billy Napier. And, I think they might agree that he had to go, but I think throwing dirt on his name or even just trying to replace him is not what Billy G is all about. So I think it's more of damage control than it is anything else. And I think he's trying to set the table for whoever does come next, which is what a true interim should do. I know we love the interim to head coach story. It's a fun story, but at the University of Florida, that's probably never going to work. You're never going to see a guy that's been a career wide receivers coach hop in to one of the, top 20 programs in the country historically. And so I think it was more so just respectful to his players that still love Billy more than it was anything else.
And I like that thought process. And I think it presents a unique opportunity though, because he is a career wide receivers coach. And I don't think I ever thought about would he ever want to be a head coach. And I'm not sure if that's crossed his mind like that. I think he truly just loves what he does. And maybe at the next level in NFL, wide receiver coach, maybe he thought about that. But I think it presents a unique opportunity for him, depending on how the rest of the season play out and him embracing that role to where, because he possessed qualities and characteristics that you would want in a head coach, but then he also possessed that dog mentality to just keep your head down and work and get the best out of your group. If you can translate that energy to a whole team, I think it may present a unique opportunity for him down the road where he can be very successful as a head coach and embrace that, because people know where he's coming from. He's not going to give you coach speak. He hasn't been trained under head coaches to be a head coach. It wasn't his aspirations to do that. So I think it's like you break the mold, and if you could get somebody that's like that, and it works, I think it's a tremendous opportunity for him in a unique situation.
No doubt. VB3's plan, he said he didn't answer that question. He said, we'll know on Wednesday for Armor Sniper, so we don't have the answer to that. Well, John, man, I really appreciate you tuning in. Tell the chat where they can tune in to you, listen to you on a weekly basis, and hopefully we'll have you back on soon, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, if anybody has a chance, follow me on Twitter, John G. Austin IV. You'll see me interacting with these two goons on Twitter from time to time. But I really appreciate y'all, and let's do it again. Hopefully we'll be talking about us beating Georgia next week on the radio show or on here, okay?
We will be.
Sure.
We will be, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, John.
We're manifesting it.
Absolutely.
Great
Go
to have
Gators,
you
man.
on,
Thank you, Bubba.
Go Gators, guys.
John there, ladies and gentlemen, from Sports Break Radio. I want to make sure I got it right. All right, boys and girls, real quick. Sports Break Radio. Great stuff there, man. A lot of great conversations. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be talking about a handful of things here in just a moment about the coaching hire. We'll talk, maybe bring the charts up a little bit in comparison to this power ranking as well. But this episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Today, took a little bit of a different approach on my more or less picks. I took for Patrick Mahomes to have more than 1.5 touchdowns. I feel like they have been on a burner since that Jaguars game. And then it was National Tight End Day yesterday, but I think Travis Kelce's going to get some love, a little carryover today. I like him for more than 41.5. And then the kicker for the Commanders, Mariota's playing. We've got Jaden Daniels out. It's more than half a field goal. So they just got to kick one through. Not an extra point, just a half.
Nice.
Took it easy. But here's a cool thing. New with PrizePicks, which I like a lot, to be quite honest with you. It's the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. So you want to pick more on Josh Allen, pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns. Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup only on PrizePicks. I've always wanted to do this for running backs. Like, I feel like you got a running back that's always more for a touchdown, and then now you can flirt because then you're like, man, the yards look really juicy too. You just know there's a guy on some teams that eats, and now you can. I love it. I think it's sick.
That is amazing. Like your lineup right there, you can pick that 3 times for each one.
You would pick 3. Yeah, you could pick. So I could pick Travis Kelce to have more than half a touchdown, more than 41 receiving yards, and more receptions too, if I wanted to.
3 times.
3. Well, 1, 2, 3. But yeah, and the same lineup.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I
usually you can only pick one player and then have to go find some like scrub to fill the lineup.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah.
If you think a guy's gonna eat, get after it. And again, you can alter the number too, which is really cool. So join millions of users to sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the PrizePick app today. Use the code HIGHTOP to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HIGHTOP to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it is good to be right. And it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's dive into this beautiful little power rankings here, brought to you by Dustin in all kinds of weather. Not Neil, we got the better version of in all kinds of weather. I'm gonna make fun of Neil while he's not here, right, Dustin? So you can tell him that I did that. He'll appreciate it.
Dustin, the other half. Nice to have you, Dustin.
How's it going? What's up, y'all?
Good,
it's great to be on the show with you guys.
We appreciate you. Did you just wake up? What's going on here? The hair.
And I'm here. I'm ready. I love talking the numbers, and we'll get into it.
I love it. Real quick though, got some super chats before you get into this. I want you to explain what we're looking at so that people know. Palatial Entertainment, $5. Steven Smash Harris. Billy Gonzalez playing with house money this weekend. Lagway doesn't get injured like last year. We got redemption, baby. Let's go. Fire me up.
Smash is my middle name.
Smash Black Pine Labs. Excuse me. Shell Harris. We all know that Napier disagree with O'Hara more often than not. Between hearing and seeing it in person, Saturday will look a lot better.
Agreed.
It's going to be wild how this thing gets busted wide open. I'll tell you what. $5. If we put a clinic on Georgia, it will make Napier look way worse as a head coach. That's what I'm saying. It could get ugly. Like, you never want to talk bad about a coach, but they may do without words. Champ, take your bias out. Give me top 3 job openings. Real quick, go. Top 3 job openings.
Florida.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Seriously. Florida, LSU.
Yeah.
And then
Penn State.
Yeah.
It's not
But
too
seriously,
open.
Florida, LSU.
Yeah, it's kind of an easy 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't mean, listen,
Um,
I'm tired of arguing with people about it. I mean, it's to each his own at this point. Look, I understand the excitement of LSU. It's 1A, 1B in my eyes. They're very close. We're splitting hairs arguing about it. It comes down to the eye of the beholder. If we're talking about, hey, who is the number one appealing job to Lane Kiffin? It's Florida, then LSU. And if you want to argue with me, talk to the wall. It'll give you a better response than I will. Let's look at this power ranking here, man. Just so people know for what we're going off. Dustin here is a genius, created their own little power ranking and model, which they've used this year to pick games against either against the spread or straight up. And it's had much success. Very similar to kind of, what betting sites use and whatnot. And so I'm assuming you took similar, backings to create this power ranking that we have here using these numbers.
Yeah, so we do have a power ranking system for the last 3 years. Out in all kinds of weather, we've had something called the forecaster model, and it's done exceptionally well this year. It is 61% on the season against the spread and 75% straight up. So picking winners and losers, that's a huge deal. We've never gone anywhere close to those results, even in past seasons when it's done well. So we're very proud of what the numbers are doing on the back end. This year is actually the first year that everything is coded out in a software called or a coding language called Python. We actually have an AWS server running the numbers in real time. It's pretty amazing what we got on the back end, and I was just thinking about a week and a half ago when everything started to break out with the coaching scene. We got to make a power ranking for the coaches, and so we've actually power ranked every coach in college football, but we've then shrunk down that list to these 12 names, which are really the names in terms of head coaches. Certainly, I know you guys have talked about some coordinator options. It doesn't seem like, from what I've heard, that Florida's going the coordinator route. It looks like they're going to take a head coach. And if that's the case, these 12 would be probably the names we're looking at for where Florida could go for this head coaching position.
So a power ranking, right? I mean, is this based on like the best option for Florida or most likely option for Florida? How does this chart read for us basics at home?
That's a great question.
Thank
So
you.
there's a blend of different metrics that go into ranking each of these coaches. You look at strength of record, not just how many games they've won or lost, but who they played.
Mm.
That's a super huge deal. There is a certain offensive identity that we've coded into the model that would be the right fit for Florida. Certainly, we appreciate the run, but certainly you want to air it out if you're at Florida. So you're looking for more of that air raid identity. Of course, you want to run the ball. No pun intended there, but certainly
Mhm.
we want a coach that wants to score a ton of points, like Spurrier, like Urban, like even Dan Mullen did when they were coaching at Florida. Um, and then it looks specifically at the culture fit for that particular person. So it's more of a subjective element of the model, but we've looked at each and every coach and how they fit culturally for the identity of the Florida program and what our expectations are. Somebody that would really be a zero on the scale of 1 to 10 in terms of culture fit is Brian Kelly, and we see why he got fired at LSU. He wasn't really there for the brand; he was there to collect a check, and we saw how that worked out for him. And so that's certainly a big role. And yes, Brian Kelly is one of the coaches ranked. Of course, you don't see his name here because he's obviously not a candidate for the job. But like I said, we do rank all coaches in college football, and so that's certainly part of it.
So is this again to you? Okay, you took of what Florida needed, and so obviously Lane landed at the top based on what Florida needs and the fit for Florida, and that's how you came up with these scores then. And then the 10
Yes.
year win percentage. I'm assuming past years, future projections, or that's the past 10 years.
Yeah, so that's the past 10 years. The exception would be if a coach has been coaching for less than 10 years, it would be their past seasons, their record in FBS. So I think it's important to note that we're not looking at FCS or any other divisions that maybe some of these coaches may have been
Okay. What made
coaching him.
Clark Lee be so high up there? Not the win percentage, but his scoring. What was some of it? Do you have the breakdown for some of these guys to answer that?
Yeah, so according to our power ranking, Vanderbilt has the number 3 offense in the country, and how you're playing offense right now is a big component of the model. They're playing exceptional this year. Their record, and not only their record, but their strength of record is a big component of the model. The scheme fit and the cultural identity of what he's building at Vanderbilt to take Vanderbilt from where they were to where they are now is a super big deal. And so all that is taken into account into the calculations on Clark Lee. And he actually rose up a few spots since I showed you the rankings last week. And I think a part of that was how they performed on Saturday against another potential coach option in Drinkwitz. So
Uh, do you use Python, Army Snipers, Python in your Excel formula, or just macros and if-then formulas?
yes, so the model is fully coded out in Python, and then we use Microsoft Excel as sort of a front end user interface on our end. So we export from Python in what is called a CSV, and then we bring that into Excel.
Okay.
But good question there.
So for Gator fans, I mean, we can see the scores, right? The scores kind of we'll keep it simple, right? Let's simplify. I was asking my deep questions because I like to pick and probe and have thoughts of why we're here where we're at, right? Because I'm higher on Jed Fish personally, which he's tied with Clark Lee, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I even have Jed Fish a little higher than Brom, and again, I know you said that your personality and culture fit is a subjective one, so I think you could probably bump that a few decimal points. So if we're being quite honest, I think the Brom, the Lee, and the Fish, and even according to this, even Drink, are all tied for third.
Right.
Honestly, because we're talking about a decimal point that could be easily moved based on just the subjective part of the numbers. So, on all reality, obviously, it's always been Lane has been just, and we did a little chart yesterday. I don't know if you saw that show, but it was a really good time. Lane was the clear fit best option based on those. Lincoln was, I wouldn't say the clear number one, but from what we were wanting, right? What took Lane out of it was the cost of things for Lane because of what he's going to cost for Florida. Lincoln was a big one. And then Clark Lee was not on the list. We didn't have Clark Lee, but then it was Brom and Fish very, very closely. So it's kind of funny that what we did is similar because I didn't take any. I didn't have this list yesterday, nor did I utilize it to build what we built out. But my point of it is that if it's not Lane, it doesn't feel like we're far off. And that was kind of what I was getting at yesterday. Is like we feel more excited because Lane is sexy and is going to be exciting to watch, but. Man, these coaches have done a lot of great things where they're at, and I think could really hit the ground running when they're at Florida. We're so burned by Billy, but man, Billy was such a massive risk when you really put all things into perspective on what we were hoping to get out of him. And look, to his credit, from what we've heard and the positive things, I mean, damn, kudos to him for not knowing a little, did a lot of great things in a lot of big boy areas. Just. Wild to think that you did all those things right and just couldn't get out of your own way, but interesting stuff.
Question.
Yeah, so certainly program building is a big deal, but there's a lot that goes into it. I really like the web that y'all had developed. That was an excellent concept, and I really believe that a lot of those components are brought in on the back end for these numbers.
Yeah, we're changing our name from High Top Sports to Turnkey Sports. So
I got a question for you, boss.
Yeah, that's amazing.
How many different metrics did you use to come up with that number? And what metric weighs the most? Are they weighted the same, each metric that you're using to come up with this one? And then which one out of all of the metrics that you use weighs the most?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So certainly from a metric standpoint, there's about 6 or 7 that are brought in. Certainly you're looking at the record over the past 10 seasons. You're looking at the offensive identity, where that team power ranks currently on offense. You're looking at the average of we've only been power ranking for the last 3 years. So for a more reliable metric, we're actually pulling in the S&P Plus data from the last 10 seasons. So that's being brought in offense, defense, and overall. And so that's a critical metric that we're bringing in. But I would say the highest weight is what our current power ranking is saying right now, because that's an overall metric that looks at the total identity of that team and how forceful they are on a neutral field against the average opponent. So that's certainly a big deal. One of the reasons why Lane Kiffin is such a hot hire right now is because of how Ole Miss is looking. You have a team like Missouri. You only score 10 points against Vanderbilt. You're obviously not going to look as good in terms of the Drinkwitz camp. Now, I would also say, looking at specifically, one thing I want to point out, because I know there's been some questions about what these numbers mean. All the way on the right, you have the actual power ranking. It's called the Gators CPRI. That is just an acronym for Gators Coaching Power Ranking Index. And any number in the 30s would be considered a great coach. Anything in the 20s would be a good coach. Anything in the 40s would be considered an elite coach. The only coach that would power rank in the 40s is currently retired, and that is Nick Saban. I think Kirby Smart even is like 39. He might be close. He might be 40 as well. The big problem with Kirby, of course, besides the fact we're never going to hire from our rival, obviously that's a pie in the sky thing. But the big thing with him is certainly offensive identity. He's got more of a defensive mentality, so that weights a little bit negative. I'm just giving you an example
Yeah.
in how we rank all the coaches in reference to what the Gators will be looking at. Now, is this how that coach power ranks overall and how they impact our overall power ranking system? It's a little different. There's a little bit of secret sauce there because certainly some coaches are great fits for where they're at. A great example is we all know the Utah coach. The name is escaping me, but he's a great fit at Utah. He's been there for many years. You put him at a different school, he may not win as many games. So same for the BYU coach. There's several of those coaches in the West that are very specific fits for their specific school.
Do we know what Napier's number was when we hired him? Do you have that? Are you able to pull that?
I think I did not compile Napier's power ranking for when we got him, but his current power ranking would be around an 11 or 12.
Hey, jeez.
Who's so? I mean, this is great stuff, man. I really appreciate you coming on here to explain it.
Yeah.
And again, I think we're all just trying to get clarity. And I think that what I'm trying to do is again, I know it's a lane train. We all want to blow the train horn. I'm here with you, but take a genuine approach to this of okay, we've all, we don't always get what we want. So what's next on our Christmas list? What can we be pleased with? And that's what I've been really trying to do. And I think that, if you've been watching these shows over the last couple of days, I think we've done a really good job of breaking this down and trying to get a good synopsis of the entire landscape. Who are your top three guys, Dustin, if you had to pick?
Well, certainly Lane Kiffin is number one. Number two would have to be Lincoln Riley. I mean, Lincoln Riley he's been to the playoff. I know that certainly his time at USC has been less than ideal. I feel like he's a great fit for the South. His offense requires speed, and the type of speed that you can get access to in the West is a little different than what you can get access to in the state of Florida. With his offensive identity, I believe the key with Lincoln Riley is he has to hire an elite defensive coordinator and give him the keys to the defense.
Sure.
He has to do that in the same way that a few years ago when we hired Will Muschamp, elite defensive coach, his big failure was he did not hire the right offensive coordinator. Not only did he hire a less than ideal offensive coordinator, but he wanted to fully change the identity from more of a spread type concept with Meyer to a complete pro system, which could work but doesn't work or didn't work with the players at the time. And I'm sure both of you can speak more about that. I would say a number three. It's kind of a hot take per se, but I think Jed Fish would be my number three. I like him a lot. I think his scheme at Washington is pretty good. I would like to see what he can do with more talent and more speed that you have in the South. But the biggest thing for me is he's a Gator.
Yeah.
He's a Gator through and through. I believe he went to the University of Florida, and nobody's going to put more into the job than a Gator. I
Yeah.
mean that's a big reason why we love what Billy Gonzalez is doing, because he knows what it takes to win championships at the University of Florida, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get there.
I had talked to someone today. I won't mention their name because I don't think they want it, but said that Jed turned down a lot of jobs before the Washington job because he really wants to come to Florida. That's the ultimate goal for him. And there's something about that I appreciate and that I like. And look, I think there's a difference between wanting the job and wanting it, but also having a personal connection to it, which I think Lane falls into that category too, genuinely, where it's like I want to win more for than just being close to the sun. Like this place means something to me, and that's where I think Lane would really set this thing on fire. Dustin, man, we appreciate you. This has been awesome. Tell them where they can find you. Not Neil, just you. Just kidding. With all kinds of weather.
Yeah. Yeah, so two things. I if it's okay with you, brother, I want to plug in our model. So we have a Patreon. Certainly, we've coded in Python. We have an AWS server that we run all the numbers on, and all that comes with expenses. And so the way that you can be a part of the magic, the way that you can have access to all the numbers, the website is patreon.com/CFB forecaster. That is CFB, like college football forecaster. And right there, we put some of the numbers out on Twitter and all kinds of weather forecaster show that we do. But literally all the numbers that we have go onto that Patreon. So you see the same things that we see. All 136 teams are ranked. Every game is predicted. We have lines for every game. We have anything you can. The score prediction is there. That is patreon.com/CFB forecaster. Thanks for letting me plug that. And then, of course, you can follow me at IAKOW Dustin.
Awesome. Dustin, I think the chat loved it, man. Great stuff. Great work on this, man. And really appreciate you coming in and breaking down these numbers for us slow birds here. So be good, man. Go Gators. What's the model got for Florida, Georgia?
Go Gators.
What's the model got for Florida, Georgia?
It's a little early. I haven't run the new numbers for this coming Saturday, but last time I looked, it was 27 Georgia, 17 Florida.
Yeah, the model sucks.
So
all right, Dustin, thanks, man. I'll see you later, buddy. Later, big guy.
We appreciate it, Dustin.
All right, take care.
Go Gators, man.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Good stuff, man. Dustin's the man.
Yeah,
great information. Definitely need to have him back on breaking down those numbers. That was a great time.
Yeah, crunching numbers. Definitely crunching numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I love it.
Great times there. $2. Metric system conversion regala. Yeah, we get dialed in here, boys. $5. The show earlier you talked about 5 SEC and playoff. What happens when Georgia and Ole Miss lose and Tennessee if Alabama and A&M? Wait. When Georgia and Ole Miss lose and Tennessee if Alabama and Texas A&M in the SEC championship. Well, I mean that's a bunch of what ifs, Korea. What I was alluding to was that Ole Miss, Georgia, A&M, Bama, and Vanderbilt don't play each other. So my point was they all control their own destiny in that they can all be a one-loss to no-loss SEC team, which would have put 5. That's what I was speaking to. There's no crossover play from the top 5. Like the if-what thing, like if they lose, they lose, but I was more speaking to that they don't play each other to there's going to be a guaranteed
possible situation.
Yeah, like they control it, which is massive. I don't feel like we've had that ever. That's the big thing. Thank you, Dustin. Go Gators from Justin Hunt. He's gone, but I'm sure he appreciates it. Thanks for the $2. Well, but great show.
I like to see all the. I think he mentioned all the different ones they use, but the weight for each one, because when you're doing some of those things, certain sections don't weigh as much as others. You know what I mean? They say, hey, I'll give you a 1 point for this, but for this area, you're getting 2 or 3 points because we value this way more. So I like to see that breakdown just to see how.
No doubt. Well, boys, we'll be live once again tomorrow morning. We're gonna change time to 8:30 because we've got a doctor.
Been on fire, brother.
We don't stop, boys. We don't stop. 30,000. We got to get there. Let's see if we grew while we're on the show.
Let's see if we subscribe, share with your friends.
We did.
Turn your bell on.
Come on, baby. Keep hammering. Y'all be good. Be safe. Peace and love, baby.
And hype up the video. Send us them points.
Yeah.
And you from the eyebrows,
Running the show.
It's High Top Sports, baby.
Quote
get
it.
it, let's
Let's
go.
get it.